Positivity Project, Rejuvenate. I would start by saying there's a famous quote which says, "Let food be your first medicine and kitchen be your pharmacy." Life is the combination of body, senses, and soul. Ayurveda is a sacred science that brings it all together. It's a sacred science of life, beneficial to humans and Mother Earth. At the Positivity Project Rejuvenate, it is our effort to bring you closer to conscious living. Within this, today's session is Conscious Eating, Building a Healthy Body and Mind by Sudhindra Uppoor. Dr. Sudhindra Uppoor has 20 years of experience as a renowned Ayurvedic physician. He specializes in diagnosing and treating lifestyle diseases using the principles of Ayurveda. He uses herbal Ayurvedic medicines and detox programs to reset your body. Reset is a word that we all want to identify with in today's world. Dr. Uppoor is followed by top celebrities in India, including Bollywood stars, industrialists, fashion designers, and corporates. An MD in Ayurveda, Dr. Uppoor completed his post-graduation from the Gujarat Ayurveda University after getting an undergraduate degree in the subject from Mangalore University. Originally from the village of Udupi in the south of India, Dr. Uppoor moved his practice to Goa. His popularity grew as he treated patients effectively with his deep understanding and application of Ayurvedic principles. He firmly believes that you can prevent a disease before it arises by changing your diet and lifestyle. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Sudhindra Uppoor. Hello, Doctor.
Thank you, Safia. It's a lovely introduction, and I'm glad that you invited me for this session. I take it as a privilege.
Thank you. So I'll start. There are so many questions in our mind in this world and the kind of lifestyle that we are living. I'm sure you're bombarded with these questions as well. But I will start right away without wasting any time. Since the pandemic, actually, there seems to be a shift in the way people look at their minds and bodies. In fact, I am the example of that. I did suffer from COVID, and I want to now intentionally live a healthier lifestyle and look at life in terms of healthy eating, conscious eating. But I'll tell you the problem. Adhering to it is a problem, but I need to address this physical and mental health. How do we start eating right? What can we do?
Okay. So as you rightly said, the pandemic, I think if you're looking at the negatives of pandemic, there are quite a few positives about the pandemic. People started realizing or recognizing that money is not everything. It's all about health. People have now started to realize that they should get into good, healthy life, good health in order to enjoy their wealth, whatever, if any. So here, when you talk about pandemic, and you yourself have got into COVID and all this, but don't you agree with me that the COVID has taught us wonderful lessons, has taught us how to be, and what is like, for example, I'm such a busy practitioner, and when the government start that, okay, from 12 tonight, it's the lockdown. It's a shock, but the 2 weeks, 3 weeks of lockdown is the best period of my life.
Yeah.
I really got the required break and rejuvenate, re-energize, concentrate on my own health. So this pandemic has a lot of good takeaways as well. So your question here is, how do you begin this journey?
Yes.
So now here, to begin this journey, I want to tell you one important thing. No size suits all. So begin with this. No size suits all. Like, you definitely don't eat the way some Western guy is eating, or you definitely, high protein diet, high carbohydrate diet, counting the calories in the diet. That doesn't work if you want to be mentally and physically healthy. So for example, a high protein diet could make you physically very fit human. Like, a man can have a good six-pack body, a woman can lose some weight and look beautiful. But the balance in the diet is the key. Otherwise, the six-pack body can have a very, very weak mind, anxiety, nervousness, panic type of behavior. But on the screen, you look at the person, he'll be very good to look at, but the mind will be weak. This happens if you go on a high protein diet. Likewise, if you go on a high carbohydrate diet, you just be plump, you become fat. So what Ayurveda recommends is one has to follow a balanced diet. In order to have a good physical and mental well-being, you need to follow a balanced diet. Anything you do in your life, do it in moderation. Whether it is exercise, whether it is food, whether it is whatever it is, lifestyle. You do everything in life, but be moderate. Eat moderately, sleep well, have your daily routine correctly. One has to begin their lifestyle here. One has to, like post-pandemic, you want to begin a new journey, you have to begin it like this. Let me use 3 Ayurvedic words for this. This will really help the audience and you yourselves up here. So what are these 3 Sanskrit words? Number 1, hit the book. So hit book. Book means eating. Hit matlab conscious eating. So you should know your body constitution. I'm Vata, I'm Pitta, I'm Kapha, and then choose your diet and eat consciously. That is hit the book. Then, okay, you know your diet. Dr. Uppoor has given you your diet. But the second thing is myth book. Myth means moderation. Eat in a small quantity. It's good for you. Okay, for example, I say, Safia, egg is good for you. That doesn't mean you eat 20 eggs a day. It's harmful for you. So in this way, the second was myth book. And third is kshut book. Very important one. Eat only when you are hungry. Kshut means hunger. Eat only when you are hungry. People who have not introduced themselves to Ayurveda, introduce first this philosophy, hit book, myth book, and kshut book, which basically means eat conscious food based on your body constitution, eat in a limited quantity, and number 3, eat only when you are hungry. And as I said, no size suits all. So every person, if for example, salad may be bad for you, but salad should be excellent for you. It depends on your 2 parameters. One is your prakriti. What is the meaning of prakriti? Prakriti means your body constitution. And the second term, Sanskrit term here is vikriti. Vikriti means your body disbalance. So now when your body constitution or your vata type, your pitta type, you're a mixed type, that is the body constitution. Now what is vikriti or body disbalance? Oh, I'm this body type, but I also got diabetic. I'm this body type and I also have vision problems. So this becomes vikriti. So the Ayurveda doctor carefully analyzes your prakriti and vikriti and finally comes into a judgment and gives you a specific diet. Once you have, and lifestyle, just don't forget to ask your doctor, okay, the food you have given, but lifestyle. So what is lifestyle is in Ayurveda, there is something called dinacharya. Dinacharya, daily routine. You need to follow a specific dinacharya, daily routine. And there is something called rutucharya, seasonal variations. Now, if you notice, most of the people are getting flus and coughs and colds these days. They are worried it's COVID. But this is seasonal flu. So there is rutucharya one has to follow during this time. One season leading to another. So you have to, in those gap of 7-8 days, you need to follow a diet and ease up to the diet of the next season. So I'll sum up what you asked. Number 1, you should know your diet, your body constitution, your body disbalance, which is prakriti and vikriti. Then know your diet. Then there is dinacharya, daily routine. Then the third thing is there is rutucharya. In the season, you have to make required changes to your diet. And number 4 is rutu sandhi, where one season is changing into another. You have to be very careful during that time. So this is a whole lot of job to do.
So taking off and from I'm literally, I feel like taking notes, making quite a lot of notes while we're speaking, and I would encourage everybody to do that because there's so many pearls of wisdom that you're giving us. From taking from what you said about hit the book, what is a good balanced diet according to you then? I mean, according to what I should, when I'm hungry, I should eat, but what should I eat?
Very good question. So what should you exactly eat? Eat as per your body type. as per your body constitution and as per your body disbalance. So your body constitution, I have not checked you, but as I see you on the screen, I assume your body constitution, roughly, I may be wrong, I have to check to get the right diagnosis, but I assume your Pitta Kapha, your fire, earth, and water combination. So we are all made up of 5 elements, by the way. So your predominant elements, for me, generally, roughly, looks like fire, water, and earth. Based on this Prakriti, then I'll do your Nadi Pariksha, pulse diagnosis. Then I will do your tongue analysis. I will ask you a few questions, know your Vikriti, know your disbalance, and then I will frame a nice, suitable diet. That's how this works. This is just not everybody, oh, salad is super good. Everybody keeps eating salad. A Vata personality eats salad, is gone. The mind blows up. It becomes anxious, nervous, and all this. And say, for example, a Kapha Prakriti person is entertained, is encouraged to have salads. One should know what suits you exactly. And if your friend is eating something, oh, she's looking beautiful, so she's eating this diet, and you follow the same thing, you'll be in trouble.
So is there also a way to eat, particular way to eat that makes it easy to digest our food? I mean, what is it exactly?
Very wonderful. Like most of us, first thing that should stop for good digestion, because every single thing depends on your Agni. Do you understand the word Agni? Agni
Fire.
is your digestive fire.
Oh,
Agni is fire, you're right. Chaturagni, your digestive fire. You are as good as your digestion. So if your digestion is not good, if there is gas, if there is bloating, if there is constipation, you are heading to some or other disease very shortly. So one should have a perfect digestion. So to have a perfect digestion, the first foremost thing I observe is this meeting and eating. So 7-8 people are sitting together, chatting, eating together, talking to each other. So the first principle is just do not talk while you are eating. So for example, there is a Hindu ritual of Pakram. They put the thread, sacred thread. In that sacred thread, the young boy is taught, when you are eating your food, do not talk. Concentrate on your food, pray your food, chew the food very well, eat slowly, and absorb the energy in the food. So we are talking about some business deal and we are gulping down the food. This is definitely going to, however good the food is, it's going to cause gastric issues. So first and foremost thing in this is sit nicely. If possible, I don't know how many can now do this. If possible, sit in Padmasana. Do you understand Padmasana?
Yes.
So Padmasana with a straight spine and properly eat your food with hands for sure. So why the hands is, this is Panch Mahabhut. So these 5 are different energies in your body. Panch Mahabhut means 5 macro elements. So for example, I'll not take much of your time, but for example, when we were children, not this generation children, when we were kids, when we have to go to urine in this class, what would we tell the teacher? Miss, you're doing this. Miss, can I go to the toilet? So this finger is water. So this finger indicates water. Then there is earth, there is fire. This is space. So this is a cosmic energy, the thumb. And this is the air energy. So first is space, air, fire, earth, water. The 5 energies, you're mixing the food with your hands and allowing the 5 energies to get into your body. I know some famous politician personalities who never do meetings while they're eating. They just sit alone and they eat their food. And they eat with the hands properly, not with the spoons and forks. So we Indians, I think if we don't ape the Westerners, we would be well off. Just follow what your grandmother did, you'll be well off.
What a good advice. Literally, Nani Ma ke nuskhe are the best that you could get, And while I was listening to you, I was just wondering how we all, sort of are doing working lunches and, or eating consciously, or what they call mindfulness, and stay in the moment to eat and enjoy, give gratitude to food, is something that is taught to us. But I think we tend to forget it when in our busy running lifestyles. So what I hear you saying is that, first of all, being conscious of that moment that you're in with the food, whatever food you're sitting and eating, and being conscious of each and everything, whether it's your hands eating, making you eat, or the act of chewing, which digestion starts with in the mouth itself. That itself is important instead of gulping down food, is what I hear you saying, right?
And for example, when you also, I think, are aware of the shlok, Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Ubhunaktu. There is a shlok you recite while you are in front of the food. So you're the broad meaning, it's not the correct meaning. The one line meaning of that is you're telling the food, oh, whatever I eat, I don't know, I've cooked something, whether it's good or bad, even if it is poison, let it go in and become a nectar. That's what you're asking the food to do for you.
Wow.
This
Beautiful.
is all exchange of energies.
Yes. And you brought up a very important point of seasonal changes, Dr. Uppoor. And we all suffer from it. There are so many seasonal changes that happen from winter to summer, summer to winter, to autumn and spring, and so on and so forth. So there are certain, in fact, I will quote this as you were saying that, my grandfather used to say, eat the fruit of the season, or the vegetable of that season only. Aajkal to everything is, these days, everything is available at all times of the year. You would find, the summer vegetables available in winter as well. So how do we, what should we look at our plate? What should it look like? One, from the immunity perspective, what should be in our diet which takes us from one season to the other and builds immunity?
So now, regarding this, what are Navaratras?
Yes.
So Navaratras comes twice a year.
If you could tell our audience as well about Navaratras.
Navaratra is the 9-day fasting ritual we all do. We
Yes.
go into a specific diet during those 9 days. And it comes twice a year, around April and around October. Yeah. So just when you just Google and see Navaratra dates for 2021, you will get like Dashara, we call it in South. Yes. The October one. The next month it will come, Dashara. And correct. The one that comes in April. So Navaratra comes twice a year. What is the significance of Navaratra fast? So now, to explain this, last Navaratra started on April 13th, 12th or 13th, if I'm not wrong, 13th, 14th, whatever, and lasted for 9 days. So when you remember April 13th, 14th, and that April month and the beginning of May month, what do you remember?
Change of weather.
COVID second wave.
Yes, COVID second wave.
Second wave. People were hospitalizing. There were no beds available. Oxygen shortage. You have all experienced your dear neighbor or a dear family member dying. We have all experienced this. Some of my doctor colleagues have died. So around this time, why do we fast? Why does Ayurveda recommend a Navaratra fast? That is the season changing. Your immune system is going to go very, very low during that season. And now another Navaratra is going to come in October. So I'm not aware of the dates as of now, exact dates, somewhere in October. But that Navaratra, again, the immune system is going to go low. Very many chances of third wave, many chances of again getting into some, if not, God forbid, no COVID, but people are going around Navaratras, you get that pitta problems, that red burning eyes, pukey feeling, vomiting sensation, head becomes heavy, neck pains. So the pitta aggravation days. At the time when your immune system is weak, the viruses, the bacteria quickly attack you. In order to prevent that, our ancestors have recommended us, Navaratra mein Devi ke naam pe fast karo. Fast in the name of the goddess. So because we Indians, when you, oh God, then we will follow. That's the only reason. But the main reason for this fasting is your own health. The Navaratra fasting. Say, for example, Christians follow Lent.
Yeah.
Go on a vegetarian diet for 40 days. There is a significant meaning to that. You're detoxifying yourself from those red meats, from those chickens, and from those non-vegetarian food. Then Muslims follow Ramadan. So there is a very good significance to that, provided they eat right when they're allowed to eat. It becomes an ideal fast, and it
Hmm.
really purifies the body. So all the ancient cultures have prescribed in one or other way, they have prescribed fasting.
Fasting.
Fasting is the best medicine. The Sanskrit word for this is Langhanam Param Aushadham. Aushad means medicine, Param means best, Langhanam means fasting. Fasting is the best medicine. So when you like, we would have some pets at home.
Yes.
Your favorite pet cat, when it's not feeling well, it just doesn't eat.
Yes.
It just
Yes.
fasts. We force it some milk, we force it some water. It doesn't eat because it knows it can reculture itself when it fasts. There is a
Hmm.
constant for it. So in this way, one has to follow the seasonal changes very carefully, because during those Ritu Sandhis, when one season is crossing into another, the immune system is going to become very, very weak. Be very careful during this time. And the second question you asked is, for example, mango. There is a season for mango to have, but nowadays 12 months in a year, mango is
Yeah.
available, especially abroad and all that. These type of foods which are genetically modified can cause only hazards. That's the reason why we are seeing so many cancers, so many autoimmune diseases. So we need to eat right and eat. My advice to all who are listening to me right now is, please do not eat the GMO stuff, the genetically modified food, whether it is wheat. Now, forget women, men are like, there is a great percentage of men having thyroid problems. This is
Hmm.
because of processed wheat, genetically
Hmm.
modified wheat. So make your food conscious. Just one sabzi is okay, but make sure that it's not a genetically modified stuff. Make sure it's nicely cooked at home in a nice earthen pot. Eat holistically. Sit in Padmasan and eat if your knees are still folding. If they have not, then forget about it. At least keep your spine straight. And one has to go into conscious living. I think the world is heading towards that gradually.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dr. Uppoor, I want to touch upon certain things that you mentioned, like, whether it's abroad or whether it's here, there are trends that happen, food trends that we get to see. A lot of them, I notice, come from ancient Indian wisdom, and our, wealth of knowledge around food and being close to nature. Um, Turmeric is one such thing. Turmeric helps to heal the body, and turmeric latte has become a worldwide trend. But it was so basic in our Indian homes. Everybody gives us haldi doodh, right? When the moment you fall ill or you feel a little unwell or have had a physical injury, you always are given that. It's a healing. We always know that it's going to heal you. Um, how does turmeric actually help in healing the body? What is it about turmeric?
Okay, so there are, I think, not just turmeric, we should discuss 2, 3 important herbs here. The kitchen herbs. One is turmeric, the way it's made popular in the form of curcumin. And second thing is your ginger. And third thing is pepper. So, and ginger, pepper, turmeric are the 3 lovely kitchen herbs which you can use it and create a miracle healing for yourself. So turmeric, for example. So now people have realized there is an active component in turmeric called curcumin that really works. When you're taking turmeric, turmeric has got the best antibacterial properties, best immunity properties. It can treat cancers. It can prevent cancers or help maintain the people who have already got cancers. Ginger. Now, ginger is the best anti-inflammatory drug available. So when you find inflammation in your body, just go for warm ginger water for a week, literally not eat anything or just have some khichdi. The inflammation, the swelling in your body will just disappear. So there is no need to search some miracle herb from Himalayas. Everything is available right at your doorstep. For example, dengue, whatever, the fever. People are running to the hospitals by crossing such a lovely, important herb, Giloy.
Mm.
Giloy, they're stamping on Giloy and reaching to these corporate hospitals for help. Giloy is one of the best medicine that can help you in dengue. Your papaya plants are all over. The papaya leaf is one of the best medicine available. And platelet drop, that this. So when you look at a disease, just look at your surrounding, the nature which has given you the disease would definitely have given a herb just next to your door.
Yeah.
That
I
is,
want to ask you one question while you're on the topic of these foods, especially when you mentioned turmeric, ginger, and pepper. It's also, we also, apart from the knowledge that, that it heals, there's also this thing of, don't have this, it might cause, it generates heat in the body, or if it's not good for you because it's, if eaten, like ginger might not suit you completely. Is that correct? I just want to understand, what is it? Are these there are foods that cause heat in the body? And then when you said that every types, uh, are these over and above for all body types?
so when I was a student, one of my masters, one of my teachers told me an interesting thing. If a medicine or food, when it becomes a medicine, if it doesn't have any side effects, take it for granted that it doesn't have any effects. So make sure that if Ayurvedic medicine, no side effects, very like no problem. That means they don't also have any effects. So every single thing that is available in the world has got certain positive and negative effects. Even you will have so many good qualities. But if you say I'm 100% super good, I don't agree. There will be certain drawbacks, certain negativities in you as well. There will be certain negativities in me more than you. But the thing is, you have to weigh what are the effects. Are the effects better than the side effects? And then take the particular herb. Ginger, pepper, if you ask them, they are heaty. Yes, they are heaty. For example, pepper, it's a small, simple herb. But if you, in the name of immunity or in the name of something else, if you keep consuming too much pepper, it can reduce the sperm count as one of the side effects, and it can cause fertility issues in men. Turmeric, you would be aware that people in the first, when COVID lockdown and the scene created around COVID, we were all locked down in the houses, people started consuming tablespoons together of turmeric. And there are reports in the hospitals that people have come with yellow eyes, yellow nails, and yellow body altogether. What's the reason? The doctors couldn't initially track what is the problem. Then they understood that, yeah, I eat about 4 tablespoons of turmeric a day because it's good for immunity during COVID time. And ginger, for example, can be heat. And there are many girls who have come with tremendous acne. Consuming gingers, peppers, immunity, khada. That khada was a big thing. Khada really was very, very heaty. So one should just know what is right for them, not ape somebody else. Definitely don't read into these forward WhatsApp messages. Follow whatever is ideal for you. Call your doctor, take his recommendation, and follow these things accordingly. Nothing. If there is no effect, if there is no side effect, then there is no effect.
You mentioned kada, and I'm thinking of the cleansing teas that help out flush out toxins. Also, one more point to this is, one is cleansing out teas. But what can we have? Like you said, ginger water, or teas which have some amount of turmeric, which are also sold in the market. But what is the right time to consume it? Again, my question is about timing.
So Indians, for example, the way we cook, we have enough of gingers, turmerics, and peppers in our food. That is more than enough if you are eating like a normal Indian. There is no need to consume extra of these things. But when you're talking about certain herbs, like say, for example, giloi, guduchi, amrita, these are the same for one plant, which is very good for immunity and anti-inflammatory and all that. Then, okay, the best time to take that khada or that tea is first thing in the morning. Consult your Ayurvedic doctor, know which tea, which khada suits you to have first thing in the morning, and have that, and that's it. Don't keep having it through the day. For example, for some, lemon and ginger water will be good on an empty stomach. For some, it may be coriander water. So for some, methi water. For some, I would just don't do anything, just have normal water in the morning. So you should know what suits your body constitution and then consume that particular herb in the morning. Empty stomach would be ideal.
One thing that consumes us all is this stress, anxiety. We are all in this lifestyle, and we can't avoid it. I mean, there are so many commitments and expectations and lots of things that you cannot leave everything and think everything will get okay. But a lot of gut health is related to mental health, and vice versa. A lot of mental health is related to whenever you notice that the stomach is not okay or there's something wrong with the digestion. I've noticed that it's a stress that is causing me this. How can we eat right to complement both our gut health and our mental health?
So in 40, 50 years ago, when we were like around independence or 10, 15 years after independence, the important aspect of diet was malnutrition. Kids were having, you could see many of the girls being anemic, many of the calcium deficiencies, kids having malnutrition. But now everybody can afford good food. That is not a problem. Even every basic Indian is in that position financially that he can afford his proper meal. The problem today's world is facing is totally different. It's every single disease is centric around the mind. Have you noticed the amount of autoimmune diseases these days? So what is an autoimmune disease? Your own immune system hyperreacting because of the stress. So you would see so many cases of psoriasis, eczemas. You would see so many cases of rheumatoid arthritis. So all these autoimmune diseases are on the rise because of the mind, because of the stress, the performance, even just the social media anxiety is so much. So people are always bothered how many people saw this video, how many likes I got, what am I doing? So there's stress everywhere from morning to evening. If it continues this way, whatever healthy diet and lifestyle you follow, you cannot get better. So I think the mind and gut connection is what you're talking about. So the mind and gut are directly connected to each other. Your gut microbiomes, your gut flora, your gut good bacteria, all depends on a healthy mind. So be positive, be confident. The bottom line here is be content. If you're not content in life, then you are going to have stress. And when there is stress, there is trouble.
Yeah, that's true. Doctor, you are known for your detox therapies. How often should a person go through these? What is it? What are detox therapies? Firstly, there's a whole lot of myth around them. You're made to fast. You can't eat this. You can't eat that, and it's very difficult. Is it? And what is it exactly? And what does it do for our mind and body?
Yeah. So every one of us, every single human being, is just a reflection of your gut microbiomes. You are as good as your gut. You have a good flora in the gut, you have good bacteria in the gut, you have microbiome. All these words lead to the same good probiotic in your gut, good flora in your gut. If that is not there, your mind may not be active, your body may not be active, you may get autoimmune diseases. So Ayurveda believes that every single problem, the solution for every problem is to clean your gut and keep a healthy gut. As a student, when there were like so many diseases mentioned in the Ayurveda text, when it comes to treatment, when we are reading those textbooks, when it comes to treatment, clean the gut, clean the gut. What is this? For everything, clean the gut, clean the gut. Now we understand how important that is to keep a healthy gut. So what the detox program is all about, and you have also asked whether it is tough. Yes, it is tough. You're going to be on a very, very, very restricted diet. And thorough detox will be like complete fast, but we are giving at least some basic food during detox. And then because we take off every Sunday, doesn't our gut need an off? That is fasting. So you have to give an off to your gut also. And then we stimulate the toxins from different parts of the body into the gut. When the toxins are right there in the gut, expel them by a strong purge, clean them out. There is MSS, there is purgation, different types of cleanings. And after the cleaning is done, introduce fresh microbiome, fresh flora, fresh bacteria in the gut. This is called the detox program. Like no pains, no gains, 7 days, 14 days, 21 days. Do it once a year. You can enjoy very good health. And girls like you can enjoy very, very good skin, hair, and body.
I wanted to ask, how many times also can you do this detox in a year?
If you are a healthy person, just want to keep up your good health, you just have to do once a year. And if there are certain diseases, say cancer patient, something else, whatever other diseases, you have to go as per the advice of the Ayurveda doctor. But just to keep up your good health, you are doing a detox, do it once a year.
Okay. I also wanted to ask, they say your plate should have many colors to make sure the right vitamins, minerals go in. Can you elaborate on how this works on our system? How do you incorporate colors in your food?
So when it comes to, I can twist this into an Ayurvedic way. Like there are 6 tastes. Ruchi. Ruchi means taste. So there are 6 tastes. Sweet, salt, sour, then pungent, spicy, bitter, and astringent. There are 6 tastes. Astringent is that khada taste. Bitter, sour, sweet, spices, So the 6, your food, when you have the food, should have all the 6 tastes. Then it becomes a balanced food. So because one taste compensates the other. For example, in Ayurveda, you're supposed to eat sweet first. Any meatha you're eating. There was no white sugar when this science was written. But when you're eating a wholesome jaggery dish or something like that, or maybe a carbohydrate, it has to be eaten first. Then followed by the main course will have the spicy, salty, and sour foods. Then here you have to earn your sweet by taking something bitter. So you have enjoyed your sweet. To cut it out from the body, you need to have something bitter. And after bitter is the astringent taste in the end. So for example, chas, buttermilk is astringent. That's why in Indian culture, we like say if you have gone to a Gujarati thali, you would have they would serve you a sweet first, peta halwa, or something like that first. And in the end, they keep a buttermilk glass next to you. So buttermilk is astringent. So you have to have your food with all the 6 tastes and in the same manner. Sweet, salt, spice, sour, bitter, astringent.
And I'm looking at all the questions. I want to cover everything before we let you go. There's so much knowledge, and we have just about 7-8 minutes left. But what is the role that thought plays when you're eating? You did touch upon it, and you said that but I want to understand when sometimes one eats a lot. When we are stressed out, we tend to eat, or we tend to lose appetite when we are not okay, sad, something like that. So how do you control your thoughts while eating?
Yeah. So basically, when it comes to work, say for example, lunch as per Ayurveda is supposed to be the best meal of the day. So you have not the Western way of having a heavy breakfast. Ayurveda doesn't tell that. Ayurveda recommends that from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., your Agni or your digestive fire is at its peak. So that should be the best meal of the day. You can enjoy your carbohydrates, etc. during that night. Never eat carbohydrates. But when you're sitting for your meal, switch this off and concentrate on your food and enjoy every single flavor of the food. And also, let us be very practical. Do not keep accusing or abusing your cook. Isme namak kam hai, isme salt zyada. Be happy, enjoy your food, chew the food very well. The moment you chew the food well, you will eat less. When you're gulping the food down, you will start eating more and more. And keep praising the food, whatever. Just imagine somebody who doesn't even have that what is in front of you. So, and keep appreciating that. Make sure there are all the 6 tastes. Chew the food well. Thank the God that you have got that food today. And if you don't like your cook, take him out, but don't keep abusing him, because that food will get a lot of negative energy.
Energy is all about, I mean, it's all about the energy. So are there any natural mood enhancers in food? Are there any foods which are natural mood enhancers?
So this is the problem with people who do not touch carbohydrates and sweets at all. They're always they're very slim for sure. They have a good six pack for sure, but they're always sad. You could see so many foreigners. So they don't eat carbohydrates, but depression, anxiety. So that's the reason why you're supposed to have a balanced food. A little bit of, not white sugars I'm talking about, a little bit of something made out of jaggery to begin with. Then have a very moderate quantity of carbohydrate. Then make sure that there is protein taken care. Make sure that there is 3% in your food of fat, cow ghee, etc. And in the end, make sure there is something astringent like a buttermilk or a dahi or something. Have a balanced diet. Just eat chicken 2 times a day or 3 times a day. This is going to go crazy.
That is true. That is true. I mean, balance is the key to life, as they say. Dr. Uppoor, it's been, I can't tell you, I'm constantly looking down and taking notes as well as you're speaking, and we would love to know more. But is there something that you would like to say to our viewers, our listeners who have joined in from different parts of the world? Actually, I mean, we've had speakers from Australia and America, and people who are joining in. Is there one thing known as a universal elixir for living a disease-free life? What is your mantra that you would give?
Be happy.
Oh.
Just be happy. That see, materialistic things should not dictate your happiness. A big car should not dictate how happy you are. A big house should not dictate how happy you are. Be happy from within. You see a small child in the slum areas, small baby, 3-4-year-old running around playing. Is he happy or are you happy? He's the one who is really happy. So just try to just cut and the chains around you. So I think you need to just break the chains around you and be free and be happy. This is going to be, we all are not going to live more than 90 years for sure. So, and 40 of them have already gone. So just live each single day happily, peacefully, and don't be chained by somebody else. Be free.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Uppoor, for spending so much time with us and giving us such valuable knowledge. I would like to thank on the behalf of Positivity Project Rejuvenate. Rejuvenate is a word that I want to associate with your science, which is Ayurveda. So any parting words that you would like to say to the Positivity Project Rejuvenate?
So rejuvenate is such a wonderful term that is picked up from an Ayurveda book, like a Sanskrit word, rasayan. So rasayan is not your Hindi ka chemical. It's not that. Rasayan is rejuvenate. So there is something called rasayan chikitsa, rejuvenation treatment. So we all have to do it once a year. Rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Then you will be like you will definitely be in that happy space. So happy space is the key.
Thank you, Dr. Uppoor. Nice meeting you. Namaste.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking to you. Bye bye.
Same here.
हर सुबह शाम मैं तुमसे मिलता हूँ, इस मसरूफ जिंदगी में तुमसे मिलने के बहाने फुर्सत के 2 पल ढूंढता हूँ। इस फुर्सत में मैं खुद से मिलता हूँ, इसीलिए कहता हूँ, मेरी चाय तुम सिर्फ चाय नहीं है, तुम चाहत हो। तुम नींद के खिलाफ होती हम सब की बगावत हो। तुम बीते लम्हों को याद करके उन्हें फिर से दोहराने का बहाना हो। चाय तुम चाय नहीं, तुम चाहत हो। बड़े बड़े लोगों की चर्चा में तुम्हारी चर्चे आम होते हैं। तुम्हारी वजह से 5 मिनट के किस्से भी सुबह से शाम होते हैं। तुम किसी अपने की आने की आहट हो, दिन भर की थकान के बाद मिलने वाली तुम राहत हो। चाय तुम चाय नहीं, तुम चाहत हो। जब तुमसे मिलता हूँ तुम्हारी खुशबू सूंघता हूँ, तुम्हारी चुस्कियाँ भरता हूँ, तो लगता है ये सबसे बड़ी मेहरबानी है जो मैं खुद पर करता हूँ। चाय यूं तो सिर्फ कुछ पत्तों में छुपा तुम रस हो, पर जिंदगी की कई मुश्किलों के लिए तुम अकेली बस हो। चाय तुम चाय नहीं, तुम चाहत हो।